In a corner of the world so remote it has remained unchanged for millions of years, the Guiana highlands of Venezuela. Rising from the jungle floor like fortress walls are the tepuis, the tabletop mountains of the Pamon people. Isolated islands in the sky. This is a lost world, a sanctuary for evolution, home to species found nowhere else on the planet, hidden by a permanent veil of clouds. For centuries, rumors whispered of a giant waterfall hidden within these heights, a phantom that many doubted even existed. The summit of Auyán-tepui is a fortress of stone carved by the elements over 2 billion years, a place forbidden to man. The Pamon called them houses of the gods. They believed the spirits of the dead resided here, protected by the thunder and the mist. James Crawford Angel, better known as Jimmy, was a man born for the air, a veteran pilot with a soul forged in the fires of exploration. He was a barnstormer, a risk-taker, and a seeker of things the world had forgotten. In 1921, a chance meeting changed everything. A prospector named McCracken told him of a river of gold atop a mysterious mountain. The legend took root in Angel's mind. For a decade, he searched for that mountain. He flew thousands of miles over the green abyss, driven by the fever of gold. In 1933, he finally pushed into the Grand Sabana. He wasn't looking for a waterfall, he was looking for a way to the summit. He entered Churun Maru, the Devil's Canyon, a narrow gorge of rock where the winds threatened to swat his plane from the sky. And then it appeared, a ribbon of water falling from the heavens. He estimated it was a mile high. The world thought he was lying. Scientists mocked him. They said no waterfall could be that tall. But Jimmy Angel knew what he had seen. He just needed proof. October 1937. He returned with a crew. This time he wouldn't just fly over it. He would land on the mountain and find the gold. They packed food, water, and tools for a long stay. The El Rio Caroni was loaded to its limit. They were flying into the unknown. The takeoff was heavy. As they gained altitude, the dense green canopy gave way to the massive vertical walls of the Auyán-tepui. The plane looked like an insect against the ancient stone. They spiraled upward, searching for a place where the mountain might let them in. As they cleared the final ridge, the summit stretched out before them. To Angel's eyes, it looked like a perfect natural runway. He cut the engine. The only sound was the wind whistling through the struts. He committed to the landing. He committed to the mountain. But the plateau was a lie. What looked like solid rock was a marsh, a trap of mud and hidden fissures. The wheels began to sink. The nose pitched forward. The propeller shattered against the earth. The El Rio Caroni had flown its last mile. They were down. Silence returned to the summit. Jimmy, Marie, and the crew stepped out into a world that had no intention of letting them leave. The radio was dead. The plane was grounded. 3,000 feet of vertical rock separated them from the world they knew. They had food for a few days. They had a choice: stay and hope for a miracle, or walk into the green abyss below. Angel chose the abyss. The descent began. They had to find a way down the sheer, moss-slicked walls of the tepui. One slip meant certain death. They used ropes, vines, and their bare hands. Marie Angel, in her boots and trousers, was as determined as any of the men. They would not die here. They entered the cloud forest, a world of permanent twilight. The humidity was suffocating, and the terrain was a maze of roots and rocks. Night brought no relief. They huddled under makeshift shelters as tropical storms lashed the mountain. The gold was forgotten. Survival was everything. By the third day, their rations were gone. They were forced to forage for fruits and avoid the predators that moved in the shadows of the highland jungle. Every step was a gamble. The mud was waist-deep in places, a thick black sludge that threatened to swallow them whole. But they kept moving. The silence of the jungle was the hardest. The psychological toll of being lost in a primordial world was beginning to break their spirits. On the 9th day, they heard it, the sound of flowing water. Not a waterfall, but a river. They were near the base. They were near the end. They reached safety at the Camarada mission. They were skeletal and exhausted, but they had survived the mountain that was meant to be their grave. The world finally realized the truth. Jimmy Angel had not been hallucinating. He had found the greatest waterfall on the planet. In 1949, a scientific expedition led by Ruth Robertson finally measured the height. 979 meters, nearly 1 kilometer of falling water. It was official, a new world record. And the falls were given a name that would echo through history: Salto Angel. Angel Falls. Not named for an angel of heaven, but for the man who brought it to light. A pilot's name forever linked to one of nature's greatest masterpieces. His plane remained on the plateau for 33 years, a silent sentinel of the discovery. It was finally recovered and stands today as a monument. In 1970, the plane was finally brought down. It was a massive operation, a tribute to the man who left it there decades before. Today, the plane stands as a symbol of the golden age of exploration, a silent witness to a journey that defined a nation's pride. Now thousands follow in Angel's wake. They come from across the globe to witness the water falling from the sky. At the base, the sound is a constant roar, the voice of the mountain itself, a sound that has echoed for 2 billion years. The jungle around the falls is alive with life that seems as ancient as the rocks themselves, a delicate balance of nature. Predators still roam the shadows of the Auyán-tepui, keepers of the house of the god of evil, a place where man is always a guest. The rocks tell a story of time beyond human comprehension, a geological masterpiece carved by rain, wind, and the patient hand of gravity. To the Pemon, the mountain remains sacred, a reminder of the spirits that protect the waters and the land of their ancestors. Angel Falls has become more than just a waterfall. It is a symbol of Venezuela, a global icon of the untamed beauty of our world. Protecting this sanctuary is a challenge for the future, a commitment to ensure that the lost world remains lost to the destructive hands of progress. Jimmy Angel's spirit of discovery lives on in every seeker, every explorer who looks at a map and sees a mystery waiting to be solved. The water continues its fall, a mile of liquid silver turning to mist before it can even touch the earth, a masterpiece in motion. At night, the mountain returns to the gods, the mist becomes a shroud, and the waterfall a ghost under the silver light of the moon. The survivors of the 1937 trek were never the same. They had seen the heart of the world, and it had left its mark on their souls forever. Marie Angel's bravery was the silent engine of their survival, a woman who flew into history and walked out of the jaws of death. We honor the names of those who dared, those who looked at the horizon and saw not an end, but an invitation. Angel, Henny, and the crew. The world is smaller now, but here, the mystery remains. A vast green ocean that hides its secrets well, waiting for the next dreamer. In the high winds of the Tepui, the water dances. It is a living thing, a spirit of the air that only briefly touches the ground. Then, the curtain closes. The clouds reclaim the mountain, and the phantom of the highlands vanishes once more into the mist. Jimmy Angel never found his river of gold, but in these clouds, he found immortality, a treasure far more valuable than anything in the earth. The journey continues in every heart that refuses to accept the boundaries of the known. The spirit of discovery is eternal. Listen to the roar. It is the sound of the earth breathing, the sound of the world's tallest waterfall, forever falling, forever angel.